Hi, welcome to Dealing with Different. My name is Adam. You may know me as Adam Tilted. I forgot to show you my face. Sorry about that. Uh, Today I have a very special guest. I'm so excited. We're going to be talking about showing compassion. And I think it's a good time to talk about this subject because we need a lot of compassion right now. I'm going to bring Katie on. Katie, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are
Great.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me today, Adam. I really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for being here. I want to take a minute and share this out. And if you would do the same, that would be great. Even if you are watching on the replay,
I am working on the same thing too.
yeah, that would be great because I want as many people as possible to see what we're going to talk about today.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so let me I'm still learning how to do all this stuff, of course, you know?
I think we all are, and that's okay. I
Yeah.
think that's just fine.
Oh, I was just about to share the wrong video. Oh, it says 12:15. That's weird.
Oh, so maybe that's why it says today at 1. It should start soon. So we're not live, Adam. That's why I can't find it. Why? What happened?
I don't I don't
Maybe
know.
we are. Maybe we are live. No, it tells me that we're not live. No, it says live. We're live. Oh, no, it says this video should start soon. Thank you for your patience. So no, we're not live yet for some
Okay,
reason.
hold on.
It says you planned to go live yesterday at 11:15.
Yeah, I put in the wrong date when I scheduled the Be Live, and then I went back and changed it, but apparently that's okay. I found us. We're on the Dealing with Different page, so I'm going to share that
Okay,
to my timeline.
there we are. Hey,
Okay. Can you still hear me?
I
Something went
can
weird with
hear
the
you.
sound. Okay.
Yep, nope, I hear you just fine, and I am posting it to my wall right now.
Great. And I'm sharing it out to a couple of places.
And I'm going to take 1 second and turn that timer off my oven, or it's going to keep beeping.
Oh, of course.
Hold on one moment.
Okay. All right.
Okay, for real this time.
Yeah, I think we are.
I think we're good.
Let me see if we're on Bubbler. Oh, wrong.
Let me refresh Bubbler and I'll be able to tell you for sure.
Yes, we are.
Awesome.
Great.
Isn't this like the coolest thing that we can just kind of share it from place to place and we just show up there? I think it's great.
I know. It's really nice. I need to learn how to better manage that.
Well, you know.
Because yesterday I was so proud of myself because I shared it to all these relevant groups and then I realized I had the wrong time.
Don't- I've done that, and I get it.
Yeah. So lessons learned.
Exactly. Exactly. So how are you, Adam?
I am good. How are you?
I am good. I'm apparently very fluffy, as I'm seeing here.
Well, I am happy that you are here to talk about showing compassion.
Thank you for asking me. I was excited anyway. I love your show. I know I rarely catch it live, but I do catch it.
Thank you.
No,
I
thanks for
appreciate
doing
it.
this.
So when we think about compassion, you said something earlier that I'm still thinking about. You said that empathy and compassion are not the same.
Mm-mm.
And can you say what you said about that? Because I thought it was very interesting.
Well, and I don't know if I can say it exactly the way I said it, but what I'm going to share is how I feel on this one. Empathy and compassion are not the same thing at all, and I think we get that confused. I think a lot of people get that confused. I think they think they're one and the same, and they're really two totally different things. Because if I am empathetic towards somebody, usually it's because I can relate. I've been there. I understand. Example, I empathize with mothers who have teenagers and young adults that are going through struggles because I've been there and I know what that feeling is. So I can empathize and I can speak into that with them on a different level than somebody who's never been there. But to have compassion for somebody means that I might not understand or might not even like the situation somebody's in or agree with how they got there. Or I mean, they could have gotten there just because of circumstances beyond their own control. They could have put themselves in a position that put them there, but I still choose to take care of them in that state that they're in, and that's when you have compassion on somebody.
I like that.
Does that make sense?
Yes. So I guess if I were gonna put that into a little soundbite, you can have compassion for someone without liking them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of times when you do have compassion for somebody, you might not even know the person. So you haven't even developed whether you like them or not.
True. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. So compassion is not about how you feel about the other person.
No,
It
no,
is
not at all.
about how you behave because they are another person.
Yes, absolutely. Or whether it's a person or an animal or whatever it is, it's how you behave. It's how you respond to the moment that's in front of you. Does that make?
Yes. Yes. Very important.
We all have those moments that come up, and we have a choice how we're going to respond. And we can either be compassionate and respond and help, and I mean, right down to, you can make it as simple as, how many times have you the mom with her kids, or even a man who doesn't know how to do, to fix it, and you can tell they're at their last end. They don't know what to do. Having compassion is stopping and taking care of this person. I don't know, and I don't know anything about them, and I'm doing it just because it's the right thing to do. Empathizing is saying, man, that's terrible. I mean, I get it. That's really bad. I understand that's, it costs a lot of money, and you may still help them, but you empathize with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Some of my backstory, and so you know that I've worked as an educator in depressed areas of inner cities,
right?
And I've seen a lot of people that could be stereotyped
absolutely
a certain way, and to my own surprise, I realized that I was doing it unconsciously, and
yeah,
I was so shocked and horrified because I don't think of myself as someone who is racist, but we all are subconsciously a little, and that's a hard thing to accept. is a hard
I
thing to accept. And goes beyond race too. Just anybody that is different than
Mhm.
we are, our natural instinct is to defend because we don't know what your intentions are. And just to be safe, we're going to assume that you're an enemy. That's just primal, you know.
So wouldn't you say that our reaction is based on the fear of the unknown more than it is
Yes,
anything else?
yes, yes, exactly. And that's basically what I think racism is.
I think so too.
Homophobia. It's just all fear of the unknown.
Hmm.
Um, because I find that as soon as someone who is racist, for example, gets to know someone of a different race, then they cease to become racist. You know,
Well,
so
as
that
soon as you get to know somebody, a
so it's educate.
relationship
Yes,
begins to build. And when you build a relationship, then you've already found a common ground.
yes,
You've already found
exactly.
things that you agree upon or things that you have fun doing, or there's that relationship building. How many times did you have kids come in your classroom and they sat down the first day of school and they looked around and did the whole little, oh, there's a boy, there's this or that. And maybe a couple weeks later, those same kids are playing together on the playground. Why? They
Because
found they found a common ground.
yeah, I mean they realize. Yeah, I mean kids are much less inclined to be stuck in those boxes. They
Right.
might get put in those boxes, but it seems pretty easy for them to get out. Did I
Right.
tell you about the um, "you're not white, you're gay"
Oh,
story?
oh yes, yes, yes.
I want to just summarize that real quick because that to me
It was funny though.
shows it is funny, but it also just has that glimmer of truth that you can only get from unfiltered
Kid.
child.
Yes.
You know, so to break it down, I was teaching in the Mission District of San Francisco, which is mostly Latino, um, and some African American,
Hmm.
and it is a gang area.
Hmm.
It's not the safest part of town. And a lot of my students had been in the country for less than a year and, were learning English. Now, I can't even imagine like moving to
Yeah.
Mexico and having to go to school while I'm learning Spanish. I mean, I'm teaching science. So,
Right. And
right.
they're learning English as a
And they're
second
learning
language.
English and science. And anyway, we worked it out. But the point is I noticed there was a lot of bullying going on, especially with the kids that didn't speak English very well because they would talk to each other in Spanish or in Mandarin.
Hmm.
Um, and the other kids would just assume they were talking about them and there would be all this drama. So
Right.
I created a safe space in my classroom. If you want to come have your lunch in my classroom while I'm doing my planning or whatever, or after school, that's fine. I'll be here. And so kids started hanging out there and they were having a conversation about white people one day. And, white people just don't understand. I mean, they're just so stupid. They're mean and they think we're idiots. And I said, hey, guys, I'm a white person. And they said, no, you're not, Mr. Brown. You're not white. You're gay. And
I
I
don't think
said,
they quite understand the difference between race and
right, right.
sexual
And
orientation.
I said, well, I'm both. And and one of the girls said, yes, but you're not the same because you are different, kind of like we are different. In the best English she can say.
Right.
And I'm getting goosebumps just relaying the story because they had compassion for me and my struggle. I didn't even
Right.
know.
Right.
And they
Right.
identified with that. And that gave me power and them power. So from that point on, they felt very comfortable defending me to other students.
Right.
And so, that if you show compassion, it has a snowball effect.
It does. It does. It really does.
You show compassion to someone, they are more likely to show compassion to someone else. Ashley's here. Hi, Ashley. Yeah, that is
Hi,
a
Ashley.
hilarious story. I love it. I have it written up in more detail on my blog. If you want to go check that out at adamtilted.com. But yeah,
that is very funny though, and kids see things so different than others. I lived in Texas for 4 years, and my oldest son Matthew started school in Texas. We were at Fort Hood, and so he did pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade in Texas. I think part of first grade before we moved back up here, and on a military base. It is the most amazing mixing bowl of people. And so you have people from every race you can think of and every social status you can think of from all different parts of the country, and people from other countries that are serving in our military, which until we...
That surprises me. Yeah. I didn't know about that. Has that always been true?
Yes. Well, as long as I don't know, always, but as long as we've dealt with the military. So for 28 years, I know, because we had people in our unit that were Jamaican. They were from Jamaica, and they were Jamaican citizens. They were not U.S. citizens that could serve in our army.
That is so interesting. Are they then allowed citizenship after their service?
I don't know. I never asked.
I hope so.
Yeah, I would hope so, but I never asked.
Anyway,
I knew them, but not well.
I didn't mean to derail your story. Right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is.
That's
so my kids and my husband and I were in a bubble of there are people from all different walks of life. It was not uncommon to see mixed marriages. It was not uncommon to see people that, and it's kind of funny because the soldiers will go overseas and married somebody from the other country. And so you've got all these German women coming back and all these Korean women coming back.
My uncle did that. He married a woman from Germany.
Right. And you always wanted to have one of those German women clean your house, because I don't know what they teach them there, but those women clean a house like I've never seen in my life, let me tell you.
My aunt.
That's who we always hired to clean the house. They have cleaning teams. You have to clean your house before you leave, and you have to hire somebody. There must be a kickback. But awesome. That's the bubble my son grew up in. So when we moved up here, he had been to school for maybe 2 or 3 days. And we were renting a house in an area just north of here. And I mean, it wasn't a super affluent area, but it wasn't an inner city area. It was just suburbs. It was nothing major. I didn't think anything of it because it was not too far from where I grew up. And Maddie came home and he sat down at the table and he just did one of these. I said, Matt.
And how old is he?
What, first grade? So he must have been seven?
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Somewhere around there. He was still 6 because he's a March birthday. So 6 years old. He sat there and he's all, I'm like, what's the matter, Maddie? He's like, I don't understand. What do you don't understand? Why are there no black people? And there's no Spanish people. There's no Mexican people. I said, what are you talking about? He says, they're all white, Mom. And I go, are they? It never occurred to me. But so those are the things that our kids see.
Yeah.
It was acceptable that everybody was in school.
That's great that he's growing up in that environment, because to him, normal is diversity.
Right. And all of my kids are like that.
Why is everybody white? This feels weird.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. Why is everybody the same? Where before they weren't. So
yeah, that's very different from when I grew up. When I grew up in North Carolina, very rural area, and the school bus, we had busing for desegregation. So I had this long bus ride, almost an hour each way. And there were 2 white people, me and my next door neighbor. and they had 3 kids to a seat. So this bus was packed. All the other ones were African American.
Mm-hmm.
And they picked on me like, I mean, I was
Oh.
targeted. So I have an understanding. I know what it's like to be that minority.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, I didn't allow that somehow that didn't imprint as a generalization.
Right.
Which I'm very happy for, because it very easily could have.
Right. It could have very easily.
But I had enough other friends that were African American that I knew that these people were jerks.
Right.
So, but it was like, wow. Even if they weren't picking on me, even just being the only white person,
mm-hmm.
I thought, this is what Black people feel like a lot.
I have a friend of mine that her daughter danced at the studio where I was teaching, and it was, this was 12 years ago, because I've been at our church for 11 years. And I was looking for a new church, and she knew that because we talked together about it a few times. And well, what are you looking for? And I said, well, we were leaving the Episcopal Church, and I wanted something a little bit more non-denominational, but I didn't want Baptist. I didn't want, we kind of went back and forth, and she said, Katie, just come visit my church. And I said, well, Trina, I said, what church? And she said, well, it's Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist. It's right in Detroit. And Trina happened to be African American. It doesn't matter, but she happened to be. And I said to her, finally, I go, Trina, I said, now, here's the thing, because I'm looking for my family. It can't be just what I like. It has to be what's going to be comfortable for my kids. Is there a good youth program? Is my husband going to feel comfortable? It's a lot of factors that go into picking a church, And I said, I said, just be honest with me. I'm not going to be the only white person there, am I? Oh, no. We got other white people. Okay. All right. I'll check it out. Right. So I went. And first of all, she told me it started at 11:45, which I thought was really odd. I'm like, why is it? That's an odd time. I get there and there's like no parking spaces. Everybody's in there. I'm like, I can hear music as I'm walking in. I'm like, I hate to be late. So now I'm already stressing. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're already singing and I'm missing it. And I get in there and I sit down with her and I realize they're almost done with worship. And she says, oh yeah, I always come late. And I'm like, thanks, Trina, right? So and I'm looking around and I'm like, I think I'm the only white person in here. I go, Trina, I thought you said there were other white people. Yeah, he's not here today. I was like,
the other one. Yeah.
It was so funny. And I actually stayed there for like 6 months while I was still looking for a place, because I really did like it. But I knew that it was not going to be comfortable for my family. It just wasn't. And it had nothing to do with the fact that it was a mostly African-American church. It had everything to do with the fact that we were the only white family. So right. we were the exception. Yeah. So everybody was curious, but it was almost like you're on display, and it was uncomfortable.
I know. So, I know that feeling. And that's not intentional.
No, it's not. It's just different, and people that are different
catches attention, and
right. People want to know. They want to know the differences. They want to know.
Although I can tell you, the most fun I have ever had at a church is at a predominantly Black church. Mm-hmm. I mean, I grew up Mormon, and church is very
No, not my church, but my church has everything. So.
Oh yeah, you've got the band going and singing and.
We have a good time. We have a very good time. So.
And it's live streamed, right?
It is live streamed, yes. So you can catch it.
What's the name of your church, in case anyone out there wants. If
anybody ever wants to look it up, or if anybody ever wants to join us, it's Liberty Foursquare Church. So if you go to libertyfoursquare.org and you spell it out, FOURSQUARE. So libertyfoursquare.org, and we do live stream, and then they'll repurpose it, just the message on YouTube later.
Is that right?
That is right. Yep.
Okay. Excellent. Yep. I will put that in the comments.
Awesome. Which it's funny, the whole live streaming thing is like a new thing. When we were kids, even as teenagers, did you ever think that people from all around the world would be able to watch? No. Hey, I can't go to church. I'll just watch it on TV. Or hey, I can't do this. I'll just watch it.
Well,
It
and I
blows my
wanted to
mind.
be an actor. I wanted to have my own TV show. Now I've got three of them.
Right, right.
Right? So yeah, I think
That's
this is
funny.
awesome. I also, before I forget, I want to talk about the work you do with the food pantry because before you do, I want to tell the audience. I met Katie on Snapchat.
Hmm.
It's been about a year and a
Been
half.
over it. It's yeah, about a year and
Yeah,
a half. Because on the 4th will have been a year ago that Tom left for Afghanistan.
that's right. Yeah,
Can you
so about a
believe
year
that?
and a half ago, Katie and I met. Now, um, you might know me, you might know Katie, you might know both of us, you might not know either of us. But what
Mhm.
I can definitely tell you is that you will not find two two more different people that are
Nope.
just more the same. If
Exactly.
that makes any sense. Like we are, we have almost the opposite opinion about
Everything, pretty
everything,
much. Almost. Well,
but
although
we
we found we
also
agreed on some things today.
about everything. It's
Right.
just, yeah. So it's really interesting, and I personally am really grateful
Me
for
too.
you, Katie, just for being
Oh,
just such
thanks,
an
Adam.
open friend. And I want to put your Snapchat up here too. What is that again? I always get it wrong.
Katie S. Miller.
Katie S. Miller. Follow
Hmm.
her on Snapchat if you are on Snap. She has a dog named Jake too, and
I
he
do.
is
That's how we
amazing.
connected. I heard you talking about your dog Jake. I'm like, I have a Jake.
Yes,
Yes.
great. Okay,
So
so food pantry. Tell us about that.
okay. So the food pantry is really like just this much of what I do. And it's
Yes.
so funny because you see it every week. It's just that it's every Monday. And the food pantry actually came um, 4 years into where I was working there for 4 years before we started the food pantry. So our church started a nonprofit called Liberty Family Outreach um, back in 2004, before I was even there. And they started it because they saw a need in the community that needed to be met. And when they started asking people, when they had, we have big vision, huge vision. And a lot of times when you have huge vision, it costs huge money that you don't have. And so you need sponsors and you need support. And when they started going to people, they said, "Oh, you guys are affiliated with the church? I can't give to churches. If I give to one, I have to give to them all." Which I don't understand that because I eat at restaurants and I never felt like, oh, if I eat at one, I have to eat at
I
them
know,
all,
right?
So
That's,
we
yeah, I can't remember.
developed a nonprofit so that we
This is
could
this is
work.
correct, right?
Liberty Family Outreach, that is correct. And
Okay.
the website for that is warrensummerfest.com, and I'll explain
Two
why.
R's, right?
Yes. So
WARREN. Okay.
we developed Liberty Family Outreach so we could meet that need. Summerfest was the first thing they started 14 years ago.
Oh,
And
right.
what it is it's basically a mission trip in our backyard. And so we had been setting up in the park and just cooking hot dogs and giving out school supplies, and we'd get, hair salons and barbers to cut people's hair for free, and just really loving on the community. Everything's free, doing what we can. And in Metro Detroit, Southeast Michigan, where we're at, you guys, it's been devastated. That the very southern end of Warren has always struggled.
Hmm.
Always. Warren is the third largest city in Michigan. It's huge, absolutely huge. It runs from 8 Mile Road all the way to 14 Mile Road, and yes, there is a mile between every one of those. And then the other, I mean, it's huge, absolutely huge. I should know how many people, but I don't. So um, we were meeting that need when the economy crashed and when the auto industry crashed. Our area was devastated. So now you had people who have always struggled trying to make ends meet. You had people that have been living a really nice middle class or upper middle class life that suddenly lost everything because
Yeah.
their bills didn't change when their job status changed.
Right. Right.
Their
No,
house didn't
yeah,
change.
I know that feeling.
The commitments they made to those companies were still there, but their
Yeah.
income wasn't. So that
Yeah.
changes. I mean, it devastated the area. And businesses that had been there for years and years closed. So our need grew. And it went from just a little thing to suddenly, after many years, we had up to 12 different churches. We had the Ambassador Bridge Company, Pepsi Cola, the city of Warren, several other large businesses supporting us. And we would be going into 2 parks on 2, not 4, 2 parks.
Wow.
And we would set up, and we've had as many as between 11 and 12,000 people, where we would do backpacks of school supplies, we do groceries, we do haircuts, sports physicals, the whole bit. And we thought, this is great. It's a 1-day event once a year.
And when
it's awesome.
It's in August?
It's always in August, and we always do the very best we can to follow up. But when you have that many people, it's very difficult to.
Yeah.
And everything has a shelf life, okay? So this year we're doing it differently, and we're doing it on the church property. We aren't doing any of the carnival things. We're still giving away 1,000 backpacks filled with school supplies. So
Awesome.
1,000 backpacks, 1,000 kids will have school supplies.
Do you need more backpacks?
We have all of our backpacks are purchased. They're not all paid for, but they're all purchased.
Okay.
And
so,
we
hey,
need
people,
school supplies.
Help them pay for backpacks.
Yeah, school supplies. So $10 will provide a child with a backpack filled with school supplies. So
That's
they can
awesome.
they can visit warrensummerfest.com. They can click on donate and just say, hey, I want to give a backpack, if that's what they wanted to do. So we will still do that. We'll still do haircuts. We're doing sports physicals. We're giving flu shots. We've partnered with Rite Aid Pharmacy. And if the funding is there, we're going to offer DTaP immunizations for kids before they go back to school. I know.
Nice.
Isn't that huge? Isn't that huge? So, I mean, we're still doing this, and it's awesome. It's really cool. And Ashley, I'm glad that you do that, because as a teacher, Adam knows
it's expensive.
It is, but there is nothing more humiliating for a child than to walk in the first day of school and not have the essentials that everybody else has.
I know.
It's devastating. So that's really huge to us. And somebody had come to me and said, Katie, I want you to contact Forgotten Harvest. I think you guys would be a great partner. So I did, and they are a food rescue program. So they are a huge, I think they might be the largest food rescue program in the United States. And they rescue millions, if not close to billions of pounds of food that would be otherwise put in a landfill. So food that's either at date, but it's still good, or just past date, but it's still good. Sometimes, say Walmart got a shipment of milk, but they didn't order it and they don't want to pay for it. They refuse it. They don't have to pay for it, but you can't send that back.
Yeah.
So it would go in a landfill. So Forgotten Harvest said, we have a hunger problem in America. There are 49 million people in America that are food insecure every day. 1 in 5 kids goes hungry every day. And so they realized there was a need, and they decided to do this. So we are a mobile food pantry. And what that means is every Monday I have a semi-truck pull up with anywhere between about 17 to 30,000 pounds of food. Why such a big difference? It depends on what's on it. Liquid is heavy.
She shows all of this on her Snapchat.
I do.
It's amazing to see.
I do.
So that alone is a reason to use Snapchat if you don't already, because watching Katie implement this food pantry, it's like a dance of chaos.
It is, and it's beautiful, isn't it?
It is. It's a beautiful dance of chaos, and you just see, obstacles,
food
challenges
coming in,
and Katie's just brushing through and getting it done and making sure you got your food. Okay, we need some more over here. And it's magic to watch. I love it.
Thank you. I'm so glad. Somebody told me you should share that, and I'm like, really? So I did.
Yeah.
And then I realized that people didn't know that need was there. People have a perception of what the face of hunger looks like. And in their mind, they decide it's something bad. Not everybody, but there are some people that decide it's something bad. They must be lazy. They must not be willing to work. They must be ignorant, or, and that's not the case in many times. I mean, I'm not going to say that there aren't some people that are, not motivated. I don't even want to say lazy. They're just not motivated. You don't know why they're not motivated.
Yeah. And actually, I mean, to me, it doesn't matter.
Mm-mm.
They still need to eat.
See, that's the thing that I have fought for 6 years, because people will say to me, those people, which is those two words light
Those
fire in my blood.
people.
I'm telling you,
Not
those two
my
words are terrible.
people.
Not my people.
Those
Yeah,
people.
those people. That is a terrible thing to say, you guys. And I don't know if we ever have thought that before.
Most people don't think of it when I say it,
No,
but it's
but
subconscious.
I will have people that will say, those people don't deserve that food. Those people don't need that. They don't deserve that. Look at what they're driving. And here is what I have learned in 6 years. That might not be their car, for one. I don't know, and you don't know how long they have been in need or what put them in need. And that
They
might
could have
not
been
be their
laid
car.
off last month and they
Right.
just haven't had the car repossessed yet.
Right. It might not be their car for very long. You don't know if somebody gave it to them because they've been in a situation.
Yeah.
You know, my son drives a really nice Lincoln Continental with leather seats. Let me tell you what, he didn't buy it. We did, because we knew he needed it.
Yeah.
So there are things that we don't know when you see that. You don't know, to look at you, Adam, unless I saw you in the wheelchair, I would not know you had a physical disability.
Right.
That keeps you from working. Now, I'm able to work and I still dance, not like I could, but I have rheumatoid arthritis. And technically, there are things that I could have. I could have some disability. I could have a handicap parking space, those things that I haven't yet. But to look at me, people would go, there's nothing wrong with you. Why are you doing that?
Right.
You don't know. You don't know. And so it's been a journey. It's been an incredible journey. And it has been life-changing for me.
Well, you have been an inspiration, not just to me, but I know to a lot of people. And I want to personally thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
The way you spread your joy, I really appreciate. So when I describe our friendship, it sounds crazy to people.
It does.
Because, I mean, religion alone, like, we're just so polar opposite, and we're able to talk about it.
And I have asked you questions. Right, and I've asked you questions.
Yeah, and
you've asked me questions, and it's been like they've been great conversations.
And I think that they've lifted us both up. It's not the type of situation where one person has to sacrifice to, no. And that is also a form of compassion. One that desperately needed right now, because I am afraid that our society at large has forgotten how to disagree, but not hate.
Right. And there's a difference in disagreeing and disliking somebody.
Right. And somehow I feel like those have been very intertwined lately. And we need to separate them, because it doesn't matter if I like you or not. If I disagree with you, I want to know more about your position, and I want you to know more about my position, so that we can work out something that will work for both of us. That's how problems are solved.
Well, Adam, do you have siblings?
I do. I'm the oldest of 5.
Did you get along all of the time?
No, of course not. No, I would say we didn't get along most of the time.
And
but
so
we love each other.
When you didn't get along, was it because you disagreed about something? And sometimes very passionately?
Yes. Yeah.
But you would never hurt them intentionally, would you?
No.
See, there's a difference. And my daughter used to say to me, which some of you, if you're on my Snapchat, you know Samantha. And she is a spitfire, let me tell you.
I think she's more like me than you.
She is. And Samantha doesn't have the maturity yet to have the tact to know when things aren't appropriate to say, but she has the courage to say the things that sometimes need to be said that I wished I had at her age.
Yeah.
She is
That's
so
good.
brave.
That's a good way to say it.
Yes.
Summarize her, yeah.
But she used to say to me, she'd go like this, she'd be really mad. She goes, "You make me so mad." And I'd say, "That's okay, Samantha. You make me mad at least once a day and I get over it. You'll get over it too." So, and
That's
that's the
great.
thing, guys. You're not always going to agree and you're not always going to understand. And not understanding and not agreeing are two different things as well.
Yes. So if we can stop making assumptions
Mm-hmm.
and as a result, making judgments on whether people are deserving of compassion,
Right.
we need to realize that everyone is deserving of compassion.
Everyone is
Every,
deserving of compassion.
no matter what they've done.
Exactly.
And we need to realize that we can make a difference. It feels like the hate and fear is this big giant out there that is unstoppable.
Right.
It's not. There are more of us than there are of the people that want to spread hate. There is more love than there is hate. I know this because I see it coming out, and we just need to keep that going because that's the only way. What is that quote? Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Love drives out hate. Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember who said that, but yeah, that's been one of my mantras, you know, sort of kill them with kindness, but
you know, I shared with you earlier that when we do our Summerfest outreach in that, we have people that come from all different areas, different churches, and we partner with churches of different denominations, you guys. So these are not
it's not about church.
No, it is not about building our church. Okay. So we have Assemblies of God, we have Baptists, you have Foursquare, you have missionary churches. We have people of all, of different denominations that denominationally and theologically, I'm not speaking well today, they're worlds apart.
Right.
So sometimes social statuses and different races. And so and different experiences, different life experiences, different things that they've grown up with, around, or familiar with. Mm-hmm. So we have together hundreds of volunteers with this, and we're going in an area that may or may not be comfortable to them. They may or may not have heard truths about that area. And we're going in an area to help people. Now, when you're going in to help somebody, they're going to be responding in many different ways. And sometimes they're going to want your help. And sometimes they're desperate and they're going to be begging for your help. And sometimes they don't know that they needed help.
Mm-hmm.
And
or they may be too embarrassed.
Right. That's the other thing. Sometimes it's a very humbling thing, and sometimes humiliating and embarrassing thing to need help, especially food, especially to not be able to provide for your family.
Especially if you know that you look like a homeless person.
Right.
I mean, they're not oblivious. They know.
Right. The responses are not always what's expected. So we always hold a class, and I've taught it many times. It's called How to Love the Unlovable. Nice. And the reason for that is because you're going to, in your lifetime, whether you're working in that situation, whether you're teaching, whether you're in sales, whether you're just walking down the street, in your lifetime, you're going to encounter people that you perceive as unlovable. Now, why that is, there's a multitude of reasons, but you're going to encounter people that you perceive to be unlovable. They spew ugliness at you. However it is, there's just something there that you feel is not worthy of your love. That doesn't mean it's right. And so we talk about that and we talk through it. And when we get past this, and everybody kind of understands that, yes, not everybody's going to respond nicely because, they may have been hurt, and hurting people will oftentimes hurt other people. And so we go through all of that. And I don't know why my phone is trying to ring like this,
Mm.
but I can't make it stop. Why is that? Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I believe somebody's trying to call me on Snapchat, maybe?
Oh,
We'll turn that ringer off. Okay, so I always say to them, okay, we all understand. Oh, yeah, we get it. Look to the right and look to the left. And they're all looking around. Where's she getting at? You might be the unlovable person today. And it's silent every time because I know I can be pretty unlovable sometimes. We're all unlovable.
Yeah.
We are all unlovable sometimes. And so I think that, and this is what we came to terms with earlier, Adam, if we all realize that we are imperfect people and we are not always lovable, we're not always pretty, we're not always perfectly put together, we're not always with the right answers, we are not always the answer for things. We're not. It's just not going to happen. And if we're not, how can we expect other people to be?
Right. Yeah. It's pretty arrogant if you really think about it.
It really is. It really, truly is.
For you to think that, for me to think that I have any right to cast judgment. I mean, I don't know their life, you know.
And that doesn't mean that I don't make mistakes in it.
Of course.
Because I do.
Natural reaction. Our brain wants to keep us safe, and the unknown might be dangerous. So, yeah, but it's recognizing that and doing something about it before it influences your actions. That's where we want to get to, right?
Right.
So we're about out of time. Really, actually, we've kind of run over a little bit, but that's okay because I scheduled extra time.
Have we? Oh, you're not an hour?
No, technically I go 30 minutes, but I scheduled the second half hour so we can have overflow time, and sometimes we'll have a little after party.
You're the best.
So before we can hang around and keep chatting, but I do want to close up the show with a few things. If you like this content, then I could really use your help because it's not free to do what I'm doing. And I'm committed to high quality, you know, and I do what I can to, you know, invest my own money, but I need your help as well. And if we spread the cost out around a bunch of people, it's not that much at all. So I have a Patreon account. I will put that in the comments as well. You can become a patron for as little as $1. Now, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm guilty of this myself. You're thinking, $1, is it really worth going to the page and putting in my information and put it in my card, you know, for $1? Yes, it is. Because you're not going to miss that $1, but that $1 is going to join hands with all the other dollars and allow me to continue doing this show. Okay? And if you can give more than $1, that's great. I have some great incentives on there. So check it out, patreon.com, Dealing with Different.
And if you have extra dollars, you can always go to Liberty Family Outreach.
Yes.
What happened to my voice? And purchase a backpack with school supplies for a child before school.
Warren Summerfest, yes?
Yes, WarrenSummerfest.com.
WarrenSummerfest.com. Okay, so $1 for Dealing with Different, and another $1 or $10 to get a backpack for Summerfest, and then one more favor that will cost you nothing. So no excuses.
Exactly.
I still need more subscribers on my YouTube channel. Here's why. Okay, it's not just because I'm vain and I want a whole bunch of subscribers. I need a custom URL so that people can find my content. Unfortunately, if you just search for Adam Tilted, it comes back with some very strange results that are not me. So don't do that. Don't do that. And Adam Brown, you know, might as well be Joe Smith. So
okay, my husband is Tom Miller. Come on.
Right. So I really need a custom URL so that people can find my content, but you need 100 subscribers to your channel
Really? I didn't
before
know
they'll
that.
give you one. Yes. So so I made a Bitly, so it's easy to remember. And remember, Bitlys are case sensitive. So Adam, the A, the T, the Y, and the other T are capitalized. But Bitly, Adam Tilted YouTube. If you could go there and subscribe, that would be amazing. Right now I have about 30 subscribers, so I need 70 more. And you could be one of them. Hi, Cindy. Cindy's here.
Hi, Cindy. How are you? I'm going to go find your YouTube.
Okay, so that is the official end of this episode. Thank you for watching.
Thank you
Katie,
so much
for being here. Please share this out.
Thank you for asking.
Your timelines. What'd you say, Katie?
Thanks for asking me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. No, I want you to come back again because there's so much more to talk about.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But we will be back. I will be back, maybe with Katie. I don't know yet. Or wait, which way are you? You're that way. Okay.
I don't know.
Next Wednesday. Wednesdays at noon on the Dealing with Different page. Did you know I set up a page?
I didn't realize that.
For the show? I know. I am so happy with it because it turned out well. I'm getting a little better at Facebook pages, I think. So
I have a Sweets from the Homefront page, so.
Oh, you do? What's the URL for that? Or the username?
It's Sweets from the Homefront. It'll say Katie Sweets from the Homefront, right?
Oh, okay, just Sweets from the Home. Excellent.
And you should see it'll come up, Katie Sweets from the Homefront. You'll see my face. Do you see it?
I can't. That's interesting. I can't click on links within
DLI. That's something new.
No, I didn't. Hold on. I didn't find it. Sweets from the Home Front. Page not found.
Let me see if I can add you. How do I add you? How do I share it to you?
Is it a group or a page?
Like friends. It's a page. Hold on. I'm looking for you. Adam. Yeah, I just invited you.
Oh, excellent.
See that?
It could be, I've been having a lot of trouble with Chrome.
Thanks, Cindy. You know, it's funny because there are so many programs that won't run without Chrome, but Chrome has been giving some little wonkiness I don't understand.
Have you been seeing the little jigglies on Facebook?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Okay, I have a balance issue, right?
So it makes you think it's good.
At first, I wasn't sure if it was happening for real or if I was just, seeing that in my brain.
Right.
But then I recorded it with my phone and went back and looked. I was like, oh, yeah, that's real. What it's doing. Okay, why is it doing that?
That's funny. That is so funny.
So, yeah. All right. Well, thanks again, Katie. This was a lot of fun. And enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great Wednesday.
Well, I have a show at 3:00.
So
yeah. I got to get it together.
Today, right?
It is today.
Yes, at 3:00 Eastern.
3:00 Eastern. We are talking about summertime treats, and I'm making a Miller family favorite today.
Nice. Okay, well, I'm going to do my best to be there.
Good. Thanks.
Okay, well, I'll see you later. Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Bye, you guys.